Of primary 6, allow me to introduce today's lesson about farming. But before I go further, I want us first to go back to the previous lesson that we had about farming. Remember, is that farming is the growing of crops and rearing of animals. Then under farming, we know the importance of farming, then even the problems facing farmers in Uganda. Then I gave you an assignment of looking for the solutions to the problems that are facing farmers in Uganda. So I want to appreciate those ones who are able to get the solutions to the challenges that we mentioned about farming. Then we also went ahead and looked at the systems of farming. I told you that we have 3 systems of farming. 1, subsistence farming, 2, mixed farming, and also plantation farming. But before looking at those 3 systems, we also looked at the types of farming. I told that we have 2 types of farming. One is arable farming. And we see that arable farming is the growing of crops. And the crops can either be grown for food or income. We also looked at the second type of farming, and that was livestock farming. We say that livestock farming is the keeping of animals and domestic birds. But then we are going to discuss more about plantation farming. Remember, we outlined the 3 systems of farming. We had subsistence farming, and subsistence farming is the growing of crops and rearing of animals for home use, but the surplus can be sold. We also discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of subsistence farming. Then I also went ahead and talked about mixed farming. I said that mixed farming is the growing of crops and rearing of animals on the same piece of land. Now then, we are going to discuss more about plantation farming. What is plantation farming? Plantation farming is the growing of one perennial crop on a large scale for commercial purposes. Now, when we talk of perennial crops, what do we mean? Perennial crops are crops that take more than 1 year to mature. So for them, they take more than 1 year to mature. So we have very many examples of perennial crops in Uganda. So the examples of perennial crops are the same as the examples of plantation crops. We are saying that perennial crops are crops that take more than 1 year to mature. Then the opposite of perennial is annual. So we also have what we call annual crops. Annual crops are crops that take 1 year to mature. For them, they grow within 1 year. So if that's to give the examples of annual crops, you can talk of maize, you can talk of sweet potatoes, you can talk of beans, nuts, Irish potatoes, etc. So for them, they can mature within 1 year. But the crops that can take more than 1 year to mature, those ones are perennial crops. So we are saying that plantation farming is the growing of one perennial crop on a large scale for commercial purposes. Now, when you talk of commercial purposes, what do we mean? You are growing only one perennial crop on a large scale to get money. So in most cases, under perennial crops, we look at the examples of cash crops. Now just look at the examples of plantation crops that we have. One, we are saying we have coffee. And coffee is the major export of Uganda when it comes to cash crops. So we mainly export coffee. Then we have sugarcane. Sugarcane can take more than 1 year to mature. Then we have tea. Remember last time we discussed about tea. I told you that in Kenya we have a district called Kericho. We have Kericho district in Kenya, and this one is known for tea growing. So the major cash crop grown in this region in Kenya is tea. Then you have oil palm. Under oil palm I gave you two island districts in Uganda. Told you that we have two island districts in Uganda which are famous for the growing of oil palm. We talked of Kalangala and also Buvuma Island districts. So we have oil palm. Then we also have sisal. Which products do we get out of sisal? Last time we talked of the ropes. We talked of the ropes and also the sacks. So if that's the major product got from sisal, we have ropes. Then we have cocoa. We have three major districts in Uganda which are famous for the growing of cocoa. One we have Mukono, we have Bundibujo, and also we have Masindi. So we have Mukono district, we have Bundibujo district, and we also have Masindi district. Those three districts are famous for the growing of cocoa in Uganda. So these are some of the examples of the perennial crops. Remember that perennial crops are crops that take more than 1 year to mature. Now what are the advantages of plantation farming? Remember we have said that plantation farming is the growing of one perennial crop. You only choose one. If it is coffee, it should be coffee. If it is oil palm, should be oil palm. But you are growing only one, mainly for commercial purposes. One, under advantages, we are saying that plantation farming creates employment people. Like an example, if you have planted sugarcane on a large scale, now when it comes to harvesting, you are going to employ very many people to come and harvest. So plantation farming creates jobs to people. Then even the government collects revenue from farmers who are growing crops on a large scale. So it's a source of government revenue. Then it leads to high crop productivity. Remember, you only growing one on a large scale, purposely for sale. So this one here leads to high crop production. Then you are going to use the modern methods of farming. So you are going to use the machines, e.g. tractors. So you can talk of tractors. It encourages the use of machines. Like now when you are weeding, you can weed using tractors. When you are planting, still you can also plant using tractors. But now when it comes to harvesting, they are going to employ people. Then plantation farming provides raw materials to agro-based industries. We say that agro-based industries are industries that entirely depend on agricultural produce, or you can say products. Like I gave you an example of the textile industries. So industries that depend on agricultural produce or products, those ones are called agro-based industries. So when you plant, or when you practice, or when you carry out plantation farming, you are going to provide raw materials to the agro-based industries. So these are some of the advantages of plantation farming. Now you look at the disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of growing one perennial crop on a large scale for commercial purposes? One, when you are carrying out plantation farming, you have to be with enough labor. So we are emphasizing about labor. Plantation farming requires enough labor. Remember, you have three types of labor. One, you have skilled labor. Skilled labor is provided by people who are trained. For example, you can talk of the teachers, we have the doctors, we have the engineers, we have the pilots, etc. So those are some of the examples of people who can provide a skilled labor. So if you look at labor, we are saying that we have got 3 types of labor. One is skilled labor. Skilled labor. And when we talk of skilled labor, we look at labor which is provided by people who are trained. Like now I've given you some examples. That we have the teachers, we have the engineers, we have the doctors, etc. Then the second type of labor is semi-skilled. So you have semi-skilled labor. Semi-skilled labor is provided by people who have little training. So you look at the community or the area where you are living, then identify some groups of people with little training. So people who have little training, they provide a semi-skilled labor. Then we have the third type of labor, and that is the unskilled labor. And the unskilled labor is provided by people who are not trained. What can we give as examples of people who provide unskilled labor? One, we can talk of the potters. We have potters, and we also have the wheelbarrow pushers. So if they ask you about labor, we have got the 3 types: skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, and unskilled labor. Skilled labor is provided by trained people. Semi-skilled labor is provided with people who have little training. Then unskilled labor is provided by people who don't have the skills. Farming means a lot of land. Remember now you are growing only one perennial crop on a large scale. So you have to be with enough land. Then 3, plantation farming is expensive to start and manage. So this one is very expensive. You have to be with enough capital if you have to carry out plantation farming. Then it can also lead to soil exhaustion since you are planting only one crop. So you are planting only one perennial crop on a large scale. So that one can also lead to soil erosion. So my beloved children of primary 6, before I end my lesson, I want to give you an assignment of discussing more about mixed farming. What are the advantages of mixed farming and what are the disadvantages of mixed farming? But before I end my lesson, allow me to comment about your handwriting. People who are sending work, your handwriting is not good, and even there are some of you are not underlining on the answers. So make sure before you send your book, first go through and always use the best handwriting. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you for being attentive to me.